This time on BC Wild, we're headed north in search of stone sheep. Earlier this year, when my friend Steve drew this tag and asked if I wanted to join him, I couldn't say no. 10 days of living off our backs, traversing up and over mountains, battling rain, hail, wind, and fog sounds like my kind of adventure. Together, my friends and I are in search of wild food from some of the wildest places BC has to offer. From the Southern Rockies to the Yukon border, on land or underwater, we're always in search of the next big adventure in an attempt to fill our freezers, connect with nature, and learn what it takes to live off the land. Welcome to BC Wild. This hunt begins with a short flight into a lake far from civilization. Once the plane drops us off, we begin our hike towards the Alpine with high hopes we'll break tree line before dark, but in typical fashion, the bushwhack ends up being a lot harder than it looked on Google Maps. The first night, we struggle to find a campsite and end up sleeping in a tiny opening in the trees, much too small to set up our tents properly, and I wake up to puddles in the morning. We pack back up and make the final push, and finally, after 22 hard-fought kilometers and 16 hours of hiking, we finally break tree line. After finally breaking tree line, we quickly find a place to set up camp and allow our gear to dry while finally getting the chance to break out the glass and start checking the surrounding mountains for animals. It doesn't take long to find our first group of goats, and while we both have goat tags on this hunt, this is a sheep hunt first and foremost, and we plan on leaving any goat hunting for the final days of our trip. Still, this is a welcome and promising sign, and there's few animals I enjoy watching more than mountain goats.
Day 3 of our sheep hunt. Been a tough first couple days. Took us about 22 kilometers of bushwhacking to get up in the Alpine yesterday. Got here about 2 o'clock and basically just took the rest of the day off. We've had a pretty bad storm rolling through. It's about 10 o'clock now and we're just heading out to Glass for the first time. Mountains have just been socked in fog this morning, so looks like it's burning off. We're going to get out there and try and do a bit of glassing. First real look into the real sheepy looking shed. Saw quite a few goats on the way up. Probably a dozen the first night. Another big group of 10 yesterday and a really nice billy. So we're off to a good start. We do have some goat tags, but We're mostly focused on sheep. We're getting towards the end. I decided to play on the goat, but yeah, excited to actually start hunting here.
We make our way across the valley bottom and find a good spot where we can see most of the drainage and set up to glass. We spend several hours glassing the drainage without a single animal sighting until the weather rolls back in and blankets the mountains back under the fog. In the evening, the clouds lift again and we spend the remainder of the day watching the group of goats from the day before.
They look as sore as we do one.
Fucking mosquitoes just came out all of a sudden.
Must win though.
Yeah, last wind, yeah.
Everyone knocked a rock at those two and she was pan.
Oh, really? Oh, more of them, eh?
Oh, a whole bunch.
Yeah, they're running out of the way. Oh, that kid. Wow, they know what that means, eh?
Definitely an Annie.
The next morning we pack up camp and are back on the move. We started the day thinking this should be a quick couple kilometer move up to the plateau above, where we should be able to glass a series of drainages without moving camp, but we quickly realized this river isn't as easy to cross as we originally expected. Now, this river might not look so bad on camera, but it's neat a ways deep, raging in chocolate brown, making it impossible to see what kinds of rocks and tripping hazards are below. We checked several spots before deciding to head to the top of the drainage and cross the glacier, opposed to risking ending up soaking wet on day 4 and crossing a river with 60+ pound packs.
Day 4. Moving our camp now. Trying to get up on this plateau where we should be able to see a bunch of drainages. But river in the valley bottom was a lot harder to cross than we thought. Took some more time. Maybe we'll cross the glacier, but we're across now and starting to head up, get up top there, find a place to set up camp. Let's go.
We finally reach the plateau and find a good sheltered spot to set up camp where we'll be able to set out on short day hikes and check the surrounding drainages.
On day 5 of the sheep hunt now. It's we've covered a lot of kilometers to get here. Getting close to right around 40 now. The country's a lot bigger than we expected, but we're over halfway to our pickup lake. So buys us some time. Did about 18k yesterday. Found this nice little protected spot, kind of on a small plateau with 3 pretty big drainages running off of it, so should be able to stay here for a couple of days. Rest our legs a little bit and do some good glassing, some good looking. We do have a couple goat eggs as well, and getting halfway through the trip, so if we see any good billies, then good chance to just go after one of them. But still looking for sheep, and the first drainage area we were in was pretty nice, but not quite what we were looking for. Lots of goats in there, probably saw 20 goats, but this country's looking a lot more sheepy. So we'll just be spending the next couple of days here, doing lots of glassing, checking all 3 of these drainages, and it's supposed to have some weather coming up too, so we'll see how that plays out. Looks like this weekend's going to be really wet. But we got six days left. One of those will probably be a hike out day. Yeah, it's been a good trip so far. We've seen tons of goats, seen some pretty incredible country. Keep checking these drainages, and we're bound to turn up something good here soon.
The next morning, we leave camp behind and head towards a good vantage point where we'll be able to spend the day glassing the surrounding mountains. After arriving, it doesn't take long to turn up a few goats, but while fun to watch, these goats are in the complete wrong direction and much too far away to even consider getting close enough to for a better look. Soon after, the weather we've been expecting begins to roll in. We tough it out under our tarp and take advantage of the small breaks in the storm to glass, but still find no sheep.
But a wet out there. That's great.
Really steep.
Yeah, it looks steep.
Hey?
Yeah, it looks steep.
The next morning, we decide to move camp again and drop into the next drainage. Unfortunately, we skip a drainage this way, but we still have a lot of ground to cover, and with more weather on the horizon and potential days lost due to this, we decide it makes more sense to be set up where we can glass from our camp during breaks in the storm and be a little closer to our pickup location.
Day 6 of our sheep hunt. Decided to move camp today. We got some really bad weather coming. It's kind of starting now, so decided to bump up the valley a couple kilometers, get a little bit closer to our pickup lake and into some different country. So should be able to kind of hole up here for a couple days. Gets us a little bit closer so we're not pushing it for time on the way out here. So we're just kind of getting here now. It's early afternoon. We're setting up a we're trying to find a camp spot and go from there. We made our camp move. Decent hike today, a little bit easier than the first couple days, but we dropped down into this drainage where we're gonna have a little more cover and we'll be able to glass right from camp. So when we have breaks in the storm, we'll still be able to glass. Looks like a pretty good storm rolling in tonight, but still have a few hours to glass tonight, and hopefully a few hours to glass in the morning before it completely sucks in. Bit of a sketchy hike down, but we're a lot closer to the horse trail leading us back to the lake where we're going to get picked up. Still about 10.5 K from there as the crow flies, but we have 4 more days. Tomorrow's sounding like 10 day. I haven't been glassing very long. We've already picked up a couple more goats in a completely unkillable spot, and they're way out of our direction, so we're probably just going to get left there, but still fun to watch. And while we're watching them, we'll keep looking for more sheep and maybe a goat. It's getting to be about that time, so hopefully we can turn something up that's a little more accessible soon.
We spend the evening watching the goats and looking for sheep while getting eaten alive by bugs, but still fail to find a single sheep. Another day down, 4 to go.
Happy being the quill. I can't believe I haven't. I said with my mouth wide open, half down glassy.
I know, I do that too. I don't know why.
I catch myself doing it. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna swallow a bug if I keep this up.
That's how I swallowed the bug. Day number 7, and as expected, we're socked right in this morning. Got a bit of a break in the weather here. I was hoping to get a bit of glassing in, but the mountains are still pretty socked in, so it is what it is. Take advantages when we get breaks in the weather today, but I think today will mostly be a tent day. It's supposed to be nice again tomorrow, so move camp again tomorrow, get a little bit closer to the trailhead and open up some new country. Hopefully find something a little bit closer to us and a little more accessible, or hopefully turn up our first sheep. But for now, catch up on some rest, let the legs rest a bit. We've done over 50 hard-fought kilometers so far this trip already, so, and we still got a decent amount to go. But no complaints. It's been a great trip. It's been some pretty incredible country. Learned a lot about sheep and just sheep hunting in general. Just, there's so much more that goes into it than just coming out here and hunting when you're getting dropped off by a plane. We probably bit off a bit more than we could chew this time. Just trying to traverse too much land between lakes. We've spent more time hiking, not as much time hunting as we would have liked, but you live and you learn. It's been a great trip. Like I said, I've learned lots, got to watch lots of goats, and still got a few days left, so you never know what could happen. We're going to keep trying.
The clouds roll in and out throughout the day, but luckily the heavy rain we've been expecting turns into sporadic showers. We glass the cliffs and meadows for animals, but today we don't even see a goat.
Oh, Tex-Mex chicken. That's your favorite of them? Yeah, that's right. A little energy for Suck It Up Sunday.
7's coming to an end here. Weather's been a little bit better than we expected today. Had some breaks in it where we could do some glassing and stuff, but definitely been some temp breaks hiding from some quick rain squalls, and a lot of this has spent the majority of the day fogged in, but haven't seen much here. So plan is to make a move in the morning. We're gonna get a little bit closer to the trailhead out, get up onto this next plateau. Should be better distance. Other than that, get a look into some new country. Spend the day there. Start making our way towards the trailhead. Got 3 days left now, 3.5 or so. So it's been a tough hunt. We've hiked hard, got started. Seen lots of goats, no sheep. Weather's been hit and miss. We've had some nice periods, but we've had a lot of rain, a lot of wind, a lot of fog. But it's all part of it. It's been a lot of fun still. And so we still have a couple days left, so keep trying, keep looking. I'd be lying if I said killing something a little bit closer to the trailhead wouldn't be such a bad thing. Like I said, we've hiked hard, we're tired, so.
The next morning we're back on the move and begin the bushwhack back out of the valley and up the other side.
Oh. It's a little bit thick there.
We reach the plateau and push across to the next drainage and decide to drop in and push partway up the far side where we'll be able to glass for the evening. We hiked nearly another 20 kilometers, but we're now just a few K from the beginning of the horse trail and in a good position to effectively hunt our final few days. We glass for the evening and see no movement, so the next morning we make the push into the final drainage where we'll be able to spend our final full day of hunting. After a few days of no animal sightings, it doesn't take long to turn up a lone goat in the cliffs way above us, giving us a last bit of hope. Unfortunately, this goat is a long way above us and we don't know if we'll be able to reach him, get a shot, bring him down, and get him packed back down to the lake with enough time to make the lake in time for our flight. We discussed the logistics of making this happen, but decided it's only possible if he moves down into the meadows below him to feed overnight.
Like, I think it's a decent distance. Like, what is it, like 10 kilometers as the crow flies?
Oh, as it go flies?
Yeah.
As it go flies. Oh, the rain's kind of screen there.
it's pretty direct.
11 kilometers as the crow flies. That's going right through the mountain though.
It is still pretty direct though.
Rapid.
It's a good beat trail the whole way.
Oh yeah, no. Man, he's in a good spot. I'm all for going to get him. So I'll just make an unreal ending to
That's the story of day 10.
last possible day. Last drainage, yeah.
The next morning we're met by more fog. We wait the fog out and eventually it clears enough to relocate the goat, and he's been joined by a buddy, but unfortunately they are in the same spot as we left them the night before. As hard as it is, we have to walk away. We begin our descent and realize this horse trail has not been used by horses in a very long time. As we stop to put on our rain gear for the soaking wet brush, I look above us and spot the ass of a goat. This hunt does not want to die. With this goat giving us a good look between his legs from behind, it doesn't take long to determine this is a billy, and he's only about 900 yards away, but he's on the move. We hold up and watch him for over an hour to see where he ends up.
Yeah, he's stretching to pee right now. Stretching to pee right now. More guarantees he's a billy. He's not a super big billy though.
He begins moving in the right direction and gives us even more hope that we may still be able to make this happen, but eventually beds on a cliffside where we'd never be able to reach him if our shot anchored him. Suddenly, a golden eagle swoops in and begins to harass the goat, giving us one last shimmer of hope that the goat may relocate off the cliffs, but ultimately the eagle decides this goat is a little too big for him and moves on. This is the final dagger in the hunt. We still have a lot of trail to reach the lake and we don't have the time to wait this goat out, and ultimately we're too exposed to even put a stalk on him without getting busted from our current position.
Later every time.
Day 11, our pickup day. Had tough push down the mountain last couple days. Last 3 days we probably did everything close to 40 kilometers of hiking. The trail out of here this year was just miserable. But last drainage, saw a couple good billies and had a good last couple days, but just wasn't able to make things work out. We didn't think we had time to wait that second or the last billy out yesterday. We had 7 yards at one point, but it was better because we weren't going to be able to make it too. So just didn't think we'd have, or just didn't have time to wait him out because we still had to get down to the lake. Supposed to get picked up this morning, but unfortunately the wind is coming. Yeah, beautiful day. One of the nicest days we've had actually, but the wind is just howling, so they're not flying. So we're just taking it easy today. Got this little old horse camp. Just hanging out here, and hopefully the weather calms down enough for the plane to get in here tonight. If not, we'll spend an extra day. But all in all, it's been a really good hunt. Can't really complain. Learned a lot just about longer backpack hunts, sheep hunts. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Still, it's been a really tough hunt. We probably tried to cover more country than we should. That led to less hunting time, but lesson learned. I think what we learned from this hunt, hopefully have a really good hunt next time. Already looking forward to next year.
We end up spending an extra night due to weather, which gives us plenty of time to reflect on this hunt and lick our wounds a little. You start every hunt with high expectations and spend the year dreaming of what could be. This hunt didn't go the way we planned, but for a first sheep hunt, I have no complaints. We hunted and hiked hard, and mentally, I'm already planning for next year. After 11 hard days of hiking, glassing, and living off dehydrated meals and instant coffee, one might think that the plane couldn't come soon enough, but ultimately, the hardest part of leaving this place is that we still have 355 days until we can do it again.